and welcome to the Metroplus show. I am back in town and back with a bag full of colorful stories to show you from our favorite newspaper supplement, the Hindu Metroplus. Let me tell you the story of a man who not only piloted India's first Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru and Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, but he also pioneered a shelter for the homeless canines in the city. It all started on a rainy day in 1959 when he found a puppy struggling to stay afloat on flooded roads in T Nagar. His compassion and love for the fledgling canine has today become the Blue Cross of India. Dipti takes you to C.P. Ramaswamy Iyer Foundation, where the organization's annual Doggy Day Out with their mongrel friends was in full swing.
The late American humorist Corey Ford famously said, "Properly trained, a man can be dog's best friend." And many dogs with their truest of friends turned up for an exciting day out. You guessed it, the wacky costumes coupled with some last-minute grooming and training was all for one show, the Wacky Mongrel Show. Organized by the Blue Cross of India, this annual event is not about good looks, good walk or good pose for the furry animal. Although there are some wacky prizes, the focus is about the story behind each canine, all of whom have been homeless at some point. Member of the organization and animal lover himself, R. Shankar, stands tall in the midst of his fellow volunteers. His love for animals is obvious, and he shared with me some startling truths about the life of a mongrel on the streets.
Key of the policy was to sterilize the animals, which are, the stray dog, the mongrel, and they needed to be sterilized because earlier on the policy was to put them in a gas chamber till 1995. The corporation in this Chennai City Corporation used to, put them in the electrocute them. It's a very inhuman practice. So in 1995, there was a pilot project suggested, and the Animal Welfare Board it took up the recommendations of the Blue Cross Committee, and from there onwards, the Blue Cross of India has been doing the ABC program, Animal Birth Control. And that is basically to sterilize the dogs. Dr. Chinni Krishna and Mrs. Nandita, they found that our mongrels are equally intelligent and loving, and in fact much more suited in terms of health and everything to the Indian condition, because they don't have to carry heavy fur and all that. So in every way they found that the mongrel was ideal for having them as our home pets.
Chennai has officially been declared a rabies-free metro in India according to Blue Cross's research. Much credit goes to Blue Cross's efforts. A sight for sore eyes, the Wacky Mongrel Show was testimony to the fact that many mongrels have come off the street and found a haven to live in. One of the participants at the Wacky Mongrel Show was Bambi. She was an abandoned little pup, desperately freezing out on the streets of Chennai, until her pretty-faced angel Punkate picked her up and gave her a home.
I found Bambi on Greens Road, and she was in a terrible condition when I found her. She's tiny and she was all full of sores, and then so I basically took her home and then wanted to give her to somebody, but then nobody would take her because she was a stray dog, and that's when I realized people have such a prejudice against that. So I kept her, and I think that's the best thing I've ever done. And now she's a little princess. She sleeps on my bed with her head on my pillow.
Just like all the other participants at this show, Bambi is a rags to riches tale. A little camera shy, Bambi does throw her weight around literally, but she's a star.
Now she's PETA's cover girl. So she's in a PETA campaign to adopt an Indian dog. So she's being carried in Trisha's arms.
no stranger to the Wacky Mongrel show either. Last year, she won the title of Dog with the Waggiest Tail. And although her owner is quite happy keeping her away from the spotlight this year, for the others in the competition, this was no walk in the park for them. And judging the real-life four-legged survivors were a panel of animal lovers. Brian Dalton, Chief of Consular Services, US Consulate, Karate Master Shian Hussaini, and veterinarian Dr. Nagaraj. A brief visit by actor Suhasini Maniratnam gave the event all the more star power. Alongside the competition was a section reserved for the cutest, most angelic-looking puppies one can find. Over 18 in all. And all of them huddled together and waiting to be adopted.
The attempt is very simple, a simple message being spread out to all our people that it is it's absolutely nice to have a mongrel dog at home. It's perfectly, all it needs is the same love and care which you would give it to their pedigree cousins and nothing else. And they're equally capable of sharing space with you, and they're very, they obviously make very good companions.
A true pick-me-up feeling. The little puppy-faced doggies had me wanting desperately to take one home. You too can give these pups a happy ending. Just pay a visit to the shelter at Velachery.
Well, I always knew that Dipti was a hardcore party lover, but her love for animals is a fresh thing to talk about in our office. While I catch some more gossip on that, you take a short break and come back. On the other side, we have a very musical personality segment waiting for you.